Hey, what's up, Stonewall Jackson? What's up? Make some noise! Whoa, don't walk any further. How you guys doing, man? This is the home of the Raiders, right? This is the senior class, right? Now, Stonewall Jackson was a what? He was a, I don't know. All right. I'm playing with you. He's a general, man. He was a general, man. Hey, it is good to be here. You know, we get to travel a lot of different places, but you know what? The hardest part about this is that we don't get to know everybody. Say, oh. So we got a game like we like to do that we would love to do for you. Are you guys open to that, seniors? You open to that? And it's called the Sit Down If game. So what I need you to do right now, if we could turn some house lights up in there. There we go. If you could, you guys would just stand up on your feet. Can you do that, please? Thank you very much. Come on, get on up. Get on up. You lazies, you senioritis, get up. Any senioritis in the house, make some noise. Let's keep it down, okay? This game is called Sit Down If. Now, when I say sit down if, I need you to give an emphatic what, okay? Let's practice. Sit down if what? That was weak. Yeah! Little John is here? Okay. Let's do that again. Sit down if what? Here we go. And if this pertains to you, you will sit down, okay? Here we go. Y'all ready? First one. Sit down if what? If when I asked you to stand up, you kind of passed gas as you stood up. If you passed gas as you stood up, sit down. Don't lie, just sit down. Just sit down. Some of y'all know you did it. Don't lie, teachers too. Sit down if. What? If you sleep with a favorite blankie that you call Blanky. When you go to McDonald's, you still order a Happy Meal. Come on, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down if you still pick your nose on the down low and eat your boogers. Come on. Sit down if you still look before you flush. Come on now. Look at that man in the back like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I do that. I still do that, Joy. Sit down if what? On Saturday morning you still watch Sesame Street. Come on, don't. Rerun the Sesame Street. Here we go. Body's still standing. Sit down if what? You use arm deodorant when you came to school today. Before you use arm deodorant before you came to school. Sit down if you did it. Who's still standing? Whoa! No, keep standing, man. Mr. Finky over here. Can everybody stand up one more time? I'm gonna do a fumble for myself, okay? Everybody stand up. Sit down if what? You have a Dallas Cowboy jersey on. Sit down. Sit down. You know what? You might as well just go home and never come back. Now sit down if you have a jersey other than the Washington Redskins on. Redskins stop! The Redskins, that's the real team, isn't it? We won Dallas. We'll get y'all. All right. Hey man, we are excited. We're excited. All y'all can sit down now, okay? Redskins fans are best, we know. Anyway, listen, we are excited to be here. We're going to talk about a lot of different choices and solutions for you guys. And are you just excited for a great presentation? Make some noise if you're ready for it. All right. Check out this video. Check it out. Check it out.
These have a lot of problems.
Low self-esteem, peer pressure.
Stress.
The statistics say that
Suicide is the second leading cause of death among teens.
14 of us a day commit suicide.
And 25% of us have thought about it.
Grade levels have dropped in our generation.
We don't care. 7 out of 10 of us admit to cheating on tests. We lack integrity.
68% of us say that we have hit somebody out of anger.
They say we make the wrong choices.
55% of us have used illegal drugs in the last 30 days.
3 out of 4 of us have tried alcohol.
1/3 of us have tried marijuana.
They say that 66% of us have had intercourse before we graduate. They say that
Who are they?
60% of us have good self-esteem.
75% of us don't think about suicide.
2/3 of us haven't tried marijuana.
And 50% of us don't drink alcohol.
I'm a statistic.
I'm a statistic. I'm a statistic. But the type of statistic you become
It's up to you.
Every day you're writing a chapter in the story of your life. Oh. Every day you're writing a chapter in the story of your life, and the chapter I'm going to start off talking about today is substance abuse. Now, I remember growing up in my neighborhood, everybody seemed to want me to get high for some reason. Seriously. Oh, give Gavin some weed, he's going to go. Give him something to drink, he's going to be looking like this ballerina girl, you know. She was actually way better than that, but you know what? I'm so glad I didn't give in to, the peer pressure of taking, drugs or any type of drink. Because you know what? I still go back into my neighborhood and I see some of those same old dudes 10 years ago who are now hooked on those things, and even if they wanted to stop, they couldn't. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't, because those things have gotten them. And you see, it is the same thing with humanity, where we think about the moment, the thrill, instead of the long-term consequences. I mean, substance abuse, man, let's admit, it ruins your health. People could die. It affects others than you. And it puts in a situation to say, you know what, was it really worth it? I mean, there's realities in substance abuse, guys. One thing is that it will eventually take over you, where you become a slave to something that will cripple you for the rest of your life. And let's talk about the consequences also of how it's going to, in a sense, affect other people than you. I remember I came home one day, my mother smacked the black off of me because she thought, that's right, she smacked the black off of me. I looked in the mirror, I was white for a minute. And I was like, I'm Michael Jackson, ah! But she smacked the black off of me just because she thought that I was hanging around with a drug dealer. I said, Mama, I'm not here, bam! Because she thought. Because she knows that there's consequences that affects not just me, but other people around me. And then another core reality of substance abuse is this, guys, that it'll eventually start to kill your dreams. The different things that you guys hope for. You know what? Substance abuse, if we're all honest with ourselves, is not the road to take to get to those things. And we look back with regrets, pain, hurt, sorrow. And so I want to challenge you guys to be smart. The solution is to be smart when it comes to this chapter that you'll face sometime in your life. You know what? If you haven't been asked yet, you probably will be asked at some point to smoke that weed, take that drink, or like Lil Jon would say, get drunk! It's gonna come. But you know what? You gotta be intelligent. You have to be smart to say, you know what? I know where those roads can lead, right? And I'm bigger than that. And I'm gonna be better. So look at somebody and say, be smart. Be smart. Come on, say, be smart. Be smart. Say it like you mean it. Be smart. All right, good job. Hey, our next chapter is tolerance. And I got a question for you on this one, tolerance. What if every single person in the world looked like you? Oh, look at the young lady on the front. Whoa, no, you ain't kidding. I got you now. She was like, oh yeah, be like me. Everybody be like me, whatever. Some fellas in the back like, yeah, it'd be a pretty smooth world, I'm a smooth type of dude. If everybody looked like me in the world, it'd be a pretty dark world, you know. Man, I used to play hide and go and seek, man, at night. And I always won for some reason. I just hang behind a tree, keep my eyes closed, my mouth shut. Where Gavin at? Where Gavin at? Oh, there he go. His teeth are floating. There he is. Get him. But let's be honest, though. You know, I'm a chocolate man. I ain't gonna lie. Anybody like the dark chocolate? You know, I'm dark chocolate. Yeah, man, I'm so. Hey. I'm so black. Every time I eat a Tootsie Roll, I end up biting off my finger. You know, because dang, that hurts. Got a Band-Aid, mama? You know. Laughing a little too hard over there. But man, you know what, guys? Let's be honest. If everybody in the world looked like us, talked like us, came from our same background, if we're honest with ourselves, it'd be a pretty boring world. I mean, I love the differences, right? The 31 different flavors of life, people, diversity. It's a great thing. But how come is it that sometimes, if we're honest with ourselves, we can be really, really cruddy when it comes to this? Accepting people and their cultures, their backgrounds. We can discriminate against them, can't we? A certain word called racism, you know what I'm saying? Where we judge people, not who they are on the inside, but who they are on the outside. Stereotypes and all those type of things. We think all white people are like, hey, how you doing, everybody? We think all black people are, you know, wear cornrows or baggy jeans or something like that. And it's not just black on white or white on black. You know what? It could be black on black. Let's be real. Somebody's trying to do their best to get grades or something, and we say, oh, he's just trying to act white. What's up with that? I know I'm hitting some hard things here. But, you know, one of my most favorite movies is Remember the Titans, man. And it was a great movie because we saw people in a video, in a movie, see that, you know what? We're not that much different after all, are we? That we can come together for a common goal to do something very, very great. Right, Stonewall? Yeah! You see, in the history as we look back, there's been some ugly things in regards to racism. And you know what? Your generation has a turn, I believe, is making the turn to say, you know what? That was just some stupid stuff, and we don't have to live like that. Am I right, Stonewall? So my challenge to you guys to really think about this very thing. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether you're white, you're black, you're turquoise, you're pink, you're Chinese, you're blackanese, whatever. It doesn't matter, man. We're not all that very different after all. Martin Luther King had a dream that every man would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their blood. So when it comes to tolerance, guys, let's be open. Let's be open. That's the solution. Be open to other people. Be open to, you know, different things. Try different things. Just be open to people who may not look exactly like you. And embrace that. You got me? Yeah. You got me? Yeah. Check out this video. Oh, yeah.
chapter 3. It's character. And when I thought about character, I kind of had a hard time explaining it or understanding it. And so I came up with two questions to kind of help me with it. The first one being, if it's okay to quit, if it's all right to give up, and everyone else is going to kind of understand, then why in the world would we keep going? You see, the video that we just watched was about a runner, and his name was Derek Redmond. And he had trained his life. I mean, he had put his whole heart into this thing, training to run in the Olympics. That was his dream, that was his goal, that was what he wanted to do. And so the day finally comes where he's running, and he pulls up with a hamstring injury. Any of you that play sports, you know a hamstring injury is just, it's ridiculously painful. The only thing you want to do is just sit down. So why didn't he stay down? Why did he get up? As a matter of fact, reporters even asked him, they said, why didn't you quit? Why didn't you just stay there? Everyone would have understood in that place. He said, your country, they would have understood. And he said, but look, I didn't come here just to run a race. I came to finish a race. His character would not allow him to stay seated when everyone else would have understood. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes it's hard to get up. It's hard to brush ourselves up. If everyone will understand them, then what does it matter? But we too have people that are in the stands, that are our fans, that are rooting us on, that want to help us cross the finish line. You've got teachers, you've got parents, you've got administrators, people around you that care about you. They want to help you finish when you can't do it alone. The second question that I came up with was, if no one else will know, then would you still do right? Would you still do the right thing if no one else would know? Let's explain it like this. How many of you don't like being lied to? You think someone lying to you is absolutely positively wrong? Now, you can put your hands down. How many of you would say, I would lie to get myself out of trouble? Come on, be honest. Some of the same people that said, I don't like being lied to, I think it's wrong, raised their hand back up and said, I would lie to keep myself from getting in trouble. Let's illustrate it like this. I had a friend of mine who did not like roller coasters. Anybody in here like amusement parks?
Yeah.
Well, this guy, he did not like roller coasters at all. And so you know what happens when you go to an amusement park? You always go in pairs. You take enough people so you ride with each other, people that you know. And so we get to this amusement park, and he doesn't want to ride. And we're like, oh man, come on, you gotta ride with us. You have to ride. You'll love it. If you do it one time, you'll love it. He's like, no, I don't want to ride. And so we talk him into getting onto the amusement park with us, onto the ride with us, and he's sitting down, and we're going up that hill. And it's at that point that we thought it would be appropriate to look over him and say, these things scare us to death. And he suddenly developed what we call white knuckle syndrome. Anybody know what that is? It's when you grab a hold of something so tight that your knuckles turn white. He was hanging on, and he was shaking. And I said, man, come on, put your hands up, it's gonna be fun, put your hands up. He looks at me, he's like, if something happens to this ride, and we fall off, they will be able to identify my body, because I'll still have these bars in my hand. So okay, you do your thing. I'm gonna put my hands up. I put my hands up, we're riding down the road, I'm down the hill, I'm screaming, he's over there like. I looked over at him, we get to the bottom of the hill, and now he's going. We ride the rest of the ride, he didn't say a word. I'm like, well, he must be liking it, he's okay. We get out there, all of our guys were doing like a chest bump. Man, that was awesome, that was so cool, and all this stuff. And he comes off the ride, and his knees, you can tell, he's like, trying to make it off, you know? We're like, hey man, how was it? He was like, that was awesome. That was awesome, dude, that was incredible. And he's talking to us, and he's talking all about his experience, about how he liked the hills and all this stuff. And the whole time he's talking, there's a stuff on his cheek. Like plastered right here on his cheek. And I looked at him and I said, hey dude, that's something on your face. And he goes, oh man. And I said, dude, what is that? And he says, well, to be honest with you, on that first hill, I kind of threw up in my mouth. He said, I didn't want any of you to know, so I just figured that I would just swallow the vomit. But we found him out anyway. It's all on his face. We all have those times in our lives where we don't want to be found out. But we've got to choose to be significant. We've got to choose to have character, just to be honest. So what is being significant? It's making a difference in the people's lives around you. It's having enough character to get yourself up and brush yourself off when everyone else would understand if you sit. You say, I've got too much character just to sit still. It's having enough character to run away from those ones that try to pull you down. To run away from those things that are going to weight your character down. And say, I'm going to be significant. Check out this drama.
Chapter 4, the chapter of self-esteem. Now every morning, most of us when we wake up, we look at ourselves in the mirror at some point. At least I hope so. I mean, some of y'all in here, I'm just wondering. But we look at ourselves in the mirror, and whether it's combing our hair, whether it's brushing our teeth, or for the ladies, it's all getting cute-defied up. You know, for the English teachers, I'm sorry, I know I just made up a word. But you know, for the girls, you're doing your makeup. And a lot of us, if we were really get honest with ourselves, a lot of us don't really like what we see in the mirror. I'm not talking about, for the simple fact, I'm not talking about having not matching, and I'm not talking about having a bad hair day. I mean, I had one this morning. I mean, contrary to popular belief, black people have bad hair days too. I'm pretty sure if you ask Gavin, our edge-ups are a little bit rough, and so, you know, we need one. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not liking who you are as a person. And it's funny because our culture today makes it so easy, makes it sound cool for you not to like yourself, and all you have to do is just change it. I mean, every time you turn on the TV, you can't help but seeing news on E! News or Entertainment Tonight about some actor or some actress that just altered the way they look by surgery. I mean, you go to what, Dr. 90210. I mean, and everybody's changing the way they look. And it's sad. Matter of fact, the other day I was watching TV, and they had a 16-year-old girl who didn't like the way she looked, and so she wanted plastic surgery. But you know, that's not cool. It's not at all. When I was younger, I used to be a chubby little kid. Real chubby. I know it's hard to believe. And so I did not like the way I looked at all. And so I grew up in the South, and anybody that grew up in the South know that down South people are nice, but they can be mean to you and be nice at the same time. And I used to go to my grandma's house when I was little, and she would look at me and she says, "Baby, you just fat." She's like, you're big, baby. And then she would be nice. She's like, "But Grandma cooked you some chicken, baby. You hungry?" And she'd be like, "Go back to the back and get something to eat." And so like a good little kid, I mean, I listened to Grandma. And so, but that didn't change the way that I looked at myself. And so going around school, I would get picked on all the time. And so what I decided to do is I was going to do something. So what I did, I signed up to play football. Because if you were chubby and you didn't do anything, then you weren't cool. But if you played football, it was like people didn't pick at you as much. And it seemed like all the football players were confident. All the football players, everybody liked them. So I signed up and I played football. But guess what? That didn't change the way I looked at myself. And see, we all have this picture in our minds of what we think people with low self-esteem look like. But you know what? It's not always easy to detect because we cover it up so good. And there's three ways that I like to just point out really quickly that we cover it up. Number one, there's the imposter. This is the person that on the outside, they look all confident. I mean, they're the type of person that walk around and they can't do nothing wrong. But in the inside, they're dying inside with a fear that somebody's going to find them out, that they're not good enough. These are the people that are like perfectionists. You know those people that they have to do everything right? Or these are the people that they get an A- and they're just freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, I'm in so much trouble. While many of us, if we get a C+, we're on cloud nine. And so these people, they just feel like that if they don't succeed, then nobody will like them. Then there's number two, what I like to call the rebel. These people act like nobody, they don't care about nothing. I mean, these are the people you could walk up and say, "Hey, I like that shirt." "So? Why are you standing on my shirt for?" And see, these people walk around and act like nobody's opinions matter, but then they walk around just angry at the world because they feel like they're not good enough. Have you met those people that seem like they're just angry? I mean, for no reason. They open up their locker and they're mad. I mean, it's like, you know, they're eating lunch and they're mad. I mean, these people feel like that, you know, they're angry because they feel like they're not good enough. And then there's the last category, I like to call them losers. Because these are people that walk around all the time and they're like, "You know what, I just suck. You know what, I'm stupid." Have you met people that are always putting themselves down? These people put themselves down because they want somebody to try to build them back up, or they feel like, you know what, if I just go ahead and say and call myself that, then I won't have to worry, I'll beat somebody to the punch. But you know what, that's not cool. And me growing up, I was the imposter. So what's the solution? The solution is be confident. And when I say be confident, I'm not talking about where you walk around bragging about how good you are. But it's about knowing in the inside that you're worth it. It's not believing that you're perfect. What it is, though, you believe that you're worthy to be loved, you're worthy to be respected. Come on now. How many people believe they're worthy to be respected? And you're to be accepted. You see, when you have good self-esteem, you can walk around with your head up high, being proud of who you are, being proud of what you look like, and being proud of what you do. You see, good self-esteem gives you the power to try new things. It gives you the power to do things and to still like yourself even if you make a mistake. You see, also too, it gives you the power to respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, other people respect you. Come on, ladies, if you respect you, then the guys will respect you. Ladies, you respect yourselves this morning? Guys, same thing. If you respect you, then the ladies will respect you. Guys, you respect yourselves? That's what I'm talking about. And so when you respect yourself, then other people will respect you. But at the same time, good self-esteem also helps you to make good choices. Because if you believe that you're important, then you're not going to do anything stupid to hurt yourself or do anything stupid to mess your future up, because you believe that you deserve the best things. And so I heard this saying once. Someone says this, that if someone believes in you, then you win. But when you believe in yourself, everybody wins. So everybody, be confident. Say it loud and say it proud.
Be confident.
All right, you guys check this next video out.
That's the way it is. She yelling for, lay back, it's all been done before. And if you could only let it be, you would see I like you the way you are. When we're driving in the car and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else from everyone else. You're watching your back and you can't relax. You try to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me why don't make things so complicated. See the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into. Honestly, you promise me that I'm gonna find your face.
Guys, life can be complicated, especially when you're dealing with the chapter of anti-violence. Because see, what I realize is that everyone gets angry. All of us do. But the ladies handle their anger in a little bit different way than the fellas do. Come on, ladies. You guys scare me. I noticed that with our ladies, we have different categories. You know, you got some ladies that they like, are the huff and puff and hip throwers. Anybody seen that? You make one of them mad, they'll be like, and like, girl, you got to slow that down. You're gonna throw something out of joint right now. Just stop it. Just cool off. Chill. You got some of the ladies, if they won't talk to the person they're mad at, but they'll talk to everyone else. Someone will say something, they'll be like, is she talking to me? No, she didn't. Somebody tell her I'm the wrong one. You got other ladies, they go in complete and utter denial. They'll be sitting there like slamming their locker, throwing their books around, and you'll walk up trying to be nice. You're like, what's wrong? Nothing! Well, I just, I thought maybe that you were angry. Did I say I was angry? No, but like you were throwing books and stuff. I'm not angry! That's when you just kind of turn around and walk away. The whole time in your mind you're thinking, I hope I never see him angry. Now for the fellas, come on fellas, we handle anger in a whole much more intelligent way. Because for the fellas, come on, man, for the fellas, we hit stuff. I've never gotten that. You got some guy, twice your size, and he's like, we done said something about your mom. You're like, oh no, he didn't. Bam! And hit the locker. And I'm thinking, what? You turn around, look at it, and be like, look what you made me do. You broke all your fingers. And I'm telling you, I'll mess you up. I'll put you out. You grab your hand, put you straight to your knees, and be like, ah. Some fellas hit themselves. I ain't playing. I had a friend in school. 3 or 4 people came up, got in his face. He starts going like, yeah! Where? I mean, in his face. I'm not talking about like chest bump. I'm talking like, bam! He done blacked his own eye. His nose was bloody. I looked at him. I said, dude, he ain't even swung and you're bleeding. Run! You have already lost. And there's other people who choose to hit other people. And although I'm not proud of that fact, but that was the route I chose. I remember being 7 years old, and I walked into an elementary school. I know what you're thinking, elementary. Come on, you get over that stuff. Just hear me out for a second. We walked in, we were 7 years old, and somebody was like shoving on me and stuff. And I always heard the teachers say in elementary school, the bigger person walks away. So I'm thinking, I'm going to do what the teachers say. I go home, and my mom and dad were furious because I didn't take up for myself. And so I'm thinking, now the teachers are saying this, my mom and dad saying that. So I went back to school, and I'll be honest with you, I was 7 and I was scared. And I walked into the school that day, and I found this kid. And I remember sitting in front of him, I was trembling that I was so afraid. But I overcame the fear, and I swung, and I mean, I just went ballistic. I went nuts. And when it was all over, I was standing there with that same trembling, fearful feeling as when it first began. And there were a lot of people that said, man, you won, you won. And I'm thinking, if that's winning, I don't want to feel that. Those people didn't care about me. They just cared about the fact they were seeing a fight. And you say, but you get over that. You were only 7. I never did. What started as a little elementary school fight turned into something that got me in a whole lot of trouble. In middle school, I got into fights and started to develop this reputation not to be messed with. By the time I was in high school, I was outside a basketball game one night swinging baseball bats and axe handles at people's heads. The next thing I know, I'm standing up on a set of stairs, concrete stairs. There's a guy standing down here. He's below me and he's looking up at me. He's running his mouth, I'm running mine. There was a whole crew of us out there. I don't even know why we were fighting. Nobody knows what it was about. And some guy, he comes around the corner and he's got a shotgun in his hand. He's drunk out of his mind. I don't know if you know anything about shotguns, but they kind of spread out when they shoot. I don't know if you know anything about drunk people, but they can't shoot too straight. He was aiming for the guy that was standing below me. But he could have shot me. And it just so happened that everything broke up before any of that went down. But here's my question. There's been other incidences that I've been in where I had a friend that was shot in the head. He's laying in a hospital bed, and he's got a bullet lodged up in his brain. This was a tough kid. This is a kid who knew how to take care of himself. You walk up into the hospital bed and you look him in the face, he can't even talk to you because nothing's working. Tears start to well up in his eyes, and you see that look in his face of fear. Because he thought he was going to die. You know the amazing part? All of his friends that were thinking he was so tough and so cool, they never came to see him. They never stepped foot into the hospital room. A lot of them who were always on his side started to say, well, he got what he deserved. We knew it was coming. You can't keep acting that way and get away with that stuff. All for what? All because we can't talk our issues out? We can't communicate with one another? See, that's how we solve stuff. And we don't want to do that because that's not tough. That's not the cool story. That's not the tough thing. But I'm telling you, we need to learn to talk to one another. We get in fist fights. We get in situations and we don't even know why we're angry. Something happened at home to make you upset and you take it out on someone else. Not even knowing where they're coming from because you haven't even taken a moment to talk to them, to ask them what's up. The scariest thing is that people are bringing guns and knives to fist fights now. We don't fight fair anymore. When the fight's over, someone gets carried out. We have to learn to communicate rather than handling our anger through violence. The next chapter I want to talk to you about is a chapter that we all deal with. It's peer pressure. All of us have gotten pressure from our friends from one time or another to do something that maybe normally we wouldn't have done. I remember when I was in middle school, there was a group of guys getting together at a house, and we were going to hang out there all night, you know, and around about 12 o'clock, one of the guys with us, he looks at us and he says, man, I got a great idea. Why don't we go outside and sleep in a tent? It was the middle of July. I'm looking at the guy, I'm like, dude, it's like 135 degrees outside. I don't want to go outside and sleep in a tent. He looks back at me, he says, if you do not go outside with us and sleep in a tent, then you are a sissy. I said, oh, no. About to get right up in here. I looked down and I said, dude, I am not a sissy. Let's go outside and sleep in the tent. Come on. So we're out there, we're in a tent, no one's sleeping, it's too hot. It's ridiculous. The same guy, 2 hours later, he looks at us and says, man, I got a great idea. I'm like, oh. He said, let's go outside and play a game. I'm like, man, I don't want to go outside and play a game. I want to go inside and lay in the air conditioner. I want to go to sleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, if you don't go outside and play a game, you are a sissy. I about ran through the side of the tent. I mean, I was upset. I stood up, I looked him straight in the face. I said, man, I told you, I am not a sissy. Let's go play a game. So there I am, I'm pressured into going out and playing this game, and once we get outside the tent, I realized real quickly that their idea of a game and mine, 2 completely different things. Their idea of the game, 3 o'clock in the morning, remind you, was to run around the neighborhood, beat on people's doors, wait for the lights to come on, run to the woods. And they called this fun. And it may have been fine for them, but you gotta picture me in middle school, okay? How do I explain this? I was kind of athletically challenged. Does that make sense? Like, my growth spurt had not caught up to my eating habits. They refer to me as short and squatty, all butt and no body. Yeah. You think I'm playing with you? I was a kid in middle school that I had to take the mile home for homework because I couldn't finish it during class time. They said, just finish that when you get a chance. Ain't no use in dying over it. Go home, finish it home. It's okay. I mean, like, we run the mile in first class, fourth class, roll around, everything on my body's still jiggling. The teacher be like, would you sit still? I'd be like, I'm trying. We ran the mile today. So there we are, we're out there. They're like beating on the door, hollering and screaming. I'm standing like 3 foot from the woods. Lights come on, I'm like, woo. Boys, quick. Then they decided that the game needed to be more challenging. I'm like, challenging? I'm about to die out here. I'm gonna run like 15 foot tonight. Killing me. And they decided they were gonna take the big kid and hold him up against the door. Wait a minute, whoa. I was the big kid. That cut me deep right there, that cut me. I want you to know. And so, we walk up to the door, and they got me pushed up against the door. And they're beating on the door, and I'm like, guys, it is already too late. I'm telling you, I can't make it. Let me go. The lights are coming on, I'm like, oh no. The door handle starts to rattle, and everybody takes off running, and so did I. Woof. All of my friends had made it to the woods. I was just now coming off the edge of the deck. I turned around, I looked over my shoulder. There's a gun barrel coming out the door. I was like, ah. That night I learned how to stop, drop, and roll. I stopped, I dropped, and I rolled right up underneath the deck. I was up underneath there, I was like, this man comes out, he's stomping around the deck. He's like, I hear you, I can hear you breathing. I can hear you breathing. I'm like, I guess you can, I just had to run. Give a big boy a break. He said, I'm gonna blow right through the deck. I'm gonna blow a hole right through the deck. I'm like, oh no. All my friends, so-called friends, they're out scattered in the woods, watching. I hear one of them start giggling. Kevin gonna die. I'm like, yeah, keep talking. Shoot there. We finally got ourselves out of that situation because I had to come from underneath the deck and own up to what I had done. We made our way back home that night, and I got tired of being fake, you know? I got tired of putting some front on and being someone else's puppet. Why do we do that? Why can't we just be real in our relationships? Why can't we be real with the people around us? Why can't we show them who we are? These people you've gone to school with all of your life, and some of them still don't know the true you. Because we wear these masks. We carry these fronts with us, man. We get pushed into situations, and we end up doing them because we want people to like us. And before we know it, we realize that we don't really like ourselves. We may have all the friends. They don't really know us. We haven't let them see us. So I remember looking at all those people and said, man, you guys aren't even my friends. I don't know why I give you the time of day. I don't even know why I hang out with you. I made up my mind, guys, that I was going to influence people rather than just be influenced myself. Rather than be pushed into stuff that I didn't want to do. Here's the reality. Every day of our lives, we're writing chapters of our life. This isn't practice mode. This is the real deal. This is game time. You get one life. This is it. How are you going to write your story?
the chapter of substance abuse, will you choose to be smart and learn from other people's mistakes and not make those same mistakes? And also in the chapter of tolerance, will you choose to be open to people who don't look exactly like you?
In the chapter of character, will you be significant and influence the people around you?
And in the chapter of self-esteem, will you be confident?
In the chapter of anti-violence, communicate, talk to people, instead of handling your anger through violence. And the topic of peer pressure, guys, just be real. Be who you are. You see, here's the thing. You guys are seniors. This is it, guys. This is your last year. Some of you, you're excited about that. Some of you may be shocked about it, that it's finally here. Some of you are starting to scan back through the memories that you've made with the people that are sitting around you. The stories that you've written together. The chapters in life that have kind of crossed lives. Some of the pieces of those chapters you're thrilled about and you want everyone else to know. Some of those chapters of life you wouldn't tell anybody, and you'd be really embarrassed if it got out. The greatest thing about writing chapters is that you can erase stuff. You can start over, you can write a new one, you can turn a new page, you can write in a different direction. And so that's what we've come to challenge you to do today. We've shared some of the things that we've messed up with in life. But we've decided to turn a page and write a new chapter, and you can too. And so on the count of 3 today, if you're saying, you know what, I'm going to accept the challenge. I'm going to write new chapters in my life. I'm going to write them in a positive direction. Not just in these 6 areas that we've talked about, but every area of your life. On the count of 3, we want you to stand up where you are. Can we do that? You ready? On the count of 3. 1. If you'll write positive chapters in your life, if you're choosing to accept the challenge. 2. Then you're going to stand up right where you are. Ready? 3. Right where you're at. Give yourselves a hand, guys.